So what do you guys do for winding down and debriefing and de-escalating and like taking a mental health break? I got 14 games on here. Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, and all the rest of the stuff that we used to play when we was younger. And then I work out. I jump rope a lot. I've been getting on my bike. I've been lifting my weights. I've been doing my squats with my jumbo ball and so forth and so on. I light my candles. And today I'm going to take you along with me. I'm going to just talk to you. I should do a live, but I ain't interested in doing a live right now. I'm going to just take you on a journey of what it looks like behind the scenes. I'm gearing up for re-emerging my books, joining some book conventions in the upcoming future. So let's just talk about what that looks like. Hey everybody, it's your girl, Miss Motivational Mogul Mindset, Ava Cherie, the Inspired. So yeah, on any given day, just like you, I could for sure have a lot going on. I don't do lives because I have to take in consideration the privacy of others that I'm around. A lot of times. Other times, my downloads are just not scheduled. That's the biggest reason why I don't do lives. Now, if you might ask me why I'm putting this cart on this table, it is because I just waxed it. And I don't want no scratches on it. So I'm about to do my Ava Cherie publishing inventory to get prepared for what I need to take for the summer events that I'll be engaged in, as well as what inventory I need to save up, potentially purchase as a reinvestment into myself. So I always stay with some stock on hand. Now I gotta get rid of these little boogers right here who like to be in the mix. Y'all gotta go downstairs and see your houses. Go ahead. You see how they looking at me? Downstairs. Good girl, Fendi. Get off. Don't you bite my feet. Oh, God. Downstairs. Good job. Good girl, good boy. In this journey of self-publishing, what you have to prepare yourself for is doing it all by yourself. Self-publishing, that's just another word for people who are venturing off on their own as an indie author or independent from a big publisher. And it is many benefits with having a big publisher, but some of us didn't get the opportunity, or we wasn't aligned with the big brand part of it, where the publisher thought that the investment in us would pay out because of our celebrity or lack of celebrity. So we take the self-publishing indie route, and that's what I did. Nobody knew me, no TV shows at that time. I hadn't done much of anything outside of my local area. I researched and investigated what it would take to have a successful book launch in celebration of my son's 30th birthday, my oldest son at the time, and I launched it in 2019. So come with me while I get my stock together and, do inventory check. My last two engagements, I was a speaker in Virginia, as well as I was a guest attendee in DC. And what I did was got my smallest carrying case. You want to know why? Take a guess. Take a wild guess. Yes, my inventory. Why did I pack my inventory? Reason being, we're at a conference. Sometimes you invest to go to the conference. Sometimes there's opportunities to volunteer. Whatever the case may be, whenever you have the opportunity to pitch yourself. Oh my God, what's your name? Ava Cherie. I own Ava Cherie Publishing. I am a self-publishing author, 4 times international best-selling author, as well as a mental health clinician and an accountability coach. So you pitch yourself and you say, oh my God, where can I see your stuff? www.avacherie.me, as well as here's my digital link. And this link will take you to all of my services and my goods and products. One click, you can purchase whatever you want. It'll be shipped and delivered to you quickly. Here, let me tap your phone so you can take my digital link. Bink, bink. Oh my God, do you have anything on hand? Actually, I do. And when we go on break, you want to meet up and let's go downstairs and I'll give you my products. I'll let you know what I have. I'll show you in person before you have to purchase. Cool. That happened to me actually in the parking garage of the conference because we were threatened not to sell our products. at the conference. Not like we wanted to set up a table outside the conference. I'm talking about you couldn't even be overheard talking about your products. I don't get it. So as a consequence, what did I do? I'd already been traveling with so many products and doing a couple of speaking engagements. And sometimes when you do speaking engagements, you want to ask them if there's an opportunity for you to set up a table after you do your speaking engagement so you can sell your products. Now, I do that when they don't have a huge budget. I ask those questions like, okay, hey, if I accept this nominal fee or a reduced fee or do it for free, do I have the opportunity to interact with your guests, give them my social media platforms, my contact info, and or set up a table so they can purchase my items after I get done speaking. So that's how I negotiate those terms. So next, I get that gonna thing open, child. I ain't gonna lie to you. As a self-publisher, when you know you have inventory, I don't know if you guys check your inventory often or just when you make sales online or whatever in person, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't check my inventory often. As soon as I get a ding that I have a sale, I automatically do rapid shipping. Bing, bing, get it in and out. I don't hold on to nobody's orders. I get the invoices out, so forth and so on. So it's always good to have a whatever designated amount of your products and items and services on hand. Not just you can do drop ship whenever you get an order. I love to have mine in person. And with authors, literary type things, people like to see the product a lot of times because everything's done online. So when you have an opportunity to show your stuff in person, do that. So this is what my traveling tote, when I'm driving or traveling, I pack enough variety of my books. This is my most recent book, Wounds to Wins. You guys probably heard about the group I'm going to open, Wounds to Wins. It's got a lot to do with healing, predestined for greatness. This is a really good book. So what I'm doing today is checking my inventory, making sure everything's good, checking my inventory on my bookmarks and all my freebies that I'm going to be giving at this convention. And I do inserts. I do bookmarks for free, and I autograph them for people. This book, Wounds to Wins, actually has some very good clinical, let me show you, mind shift assessments. They have different how-tos in this book, and I really like that. I wrote this book probably last year or the year before. I published it like last year. But what I allow myself to do and what God led me to do was do different tips. So like this says, daily cleansing of negative soul ties. So it's a lot of stuff that I study, that have research biblically, and how to help people renounce and denounce things and cancel things out. And the reason I put some of these in here is because a lot of times we say we have a PDF download for free if you sign up to my email newsletter, or if you see me in person, or if you purchase a product, I'll give you this. But I wanted to include this in every chapter because as a minister and accountability life coach, these are the things we actually go over. So my products moving forward, my workbooks, my journaling, I gave you a glimpse of what I'm able to offer and things to help you get free from certain things right now. So the minute you buy the book, Wounds to Wins is the powerful title of it because of that. How do you do it? You don't want to just read about what I'm doing or read about my situations. You want things inside of here that's going to give you meat and potatoes, assessments, things you can jot down, tips. Effective communication helps all parties. How to actively listen involves paying attention. How you breaking that down. You also want disempowering and empowering beliefs. I put mind shift assessment. How you break that down. Overthinking, overcoming self-doubt. How do you do it? Step 1. You know, all of these things is in this book, as well as my storytelling compelling me to share closure, you know, so this is a really good book. I'll go into detail about it a little bit later. All right. I'm like one of the little bitty specks on the back, but I guess I'm in the lineup on the top. I'm the top 4, so I ain't mad about that. I'm number 4 on the back of this wonderful book, You Are Enough, with Les Brown and Dr. Cheryl Wood. I did that conference. It was amazing. This book is a little thicker than my own book, so that lets you know how much work. They're both paperbacks. But that lets you know how much work I put into this Wounds to Wins. This is a compilation book of all these authors. We still had to write our own part. We still had the opportunity to be in the virtual conference, the live conference, as well as be in the book. So, and it was an investment. I'll get into that on another day. And we had training for like, what, 4 or 5 months. We had behind the scenes training with Les Brown, Dr. Cheryl Wood. We had benchmarks. We had stuff that you really got your investment work when it came to that. Like, I'm not going to hold you. Like, that was a very good experience just to be in the midst of that training if you've never done it before. So as a consequence, I knew what I wanted my book to be, the depth. Okay? Now, my first book, you'll see what I'm saying. See the difference? This one was a bestseller. Over 400 copies the first couple of days, still selling. Some people have a short attention span. This was my first seller, and it took me years. The heck? It took me years to cram in all of how I wanted to introduce myself. It was my card, guys. See, I put little things in there for people to already know all my contact. So this book, very deep, very freeing, warfare, testimonies, the good, the bad, the ugly. Not a bunch of cusses, but a couple cusses. This is the true journey and the price that I had to pay for my evolution. So I kept it as raw and funky and classy. A lot of pastors to this day use sections of it for sermons. They get my permission, as you should, to use anybody's book. You should email them and ask them, can you use their blurb, their quotes? Listen, they give you permission. You acknowledge them. You give credit where it's due. These things are not easy. I just did an ebook on how to self-publish. And I was hesitant, and I've been praying about it because I got discouraged because of how much AI is doing for everybody's process. So everybody's like, I can write me a book in 5 minutes. I'm like, dang, that takes everything out of doing this for 3 months or years, or this is nonfiction. So putting your blood, sweat, and tears in making sure you have the right word count, the editing. So I'm iffy about that. But anyway, this is my very first book, The Price of Evolution series. Wounds to Win is in this series. The Sanctified Sacrifices of Healing and Deliverance. Okay? So this book is really good. It doesn't mean that because it's small, it's not good. Some people's attention span can only do this. Some people have told me they've read this over and over again because it's so empowering. There's scripture in it. It's reality therapy in it. It is keeping it raw. This is my journey, my words, my voice. I sought permission from my family, my mother, whoever was included in my book that it would impact. I already sought written permission before I released this book. So you gotta know it's just not, oh, I'm an author, I'm putting this book out, and it's cute, I want attention. This is just the way I conduct my business, because I don't want something coming back when I do the stage play, or when somebody picks it up, or if somebody picks it up as a movie and then everybody want their hands in it, and then they say they never gave you permission to do it. So just giving y'all some tips. So I guess you're saying this is a different kind of vlog that she's doing. Well, guys, I really get burnt out sometimes desiring to over-deliver in ministry and vlogs and accountability. I don't ever want ministry, being a servant leader, to not be fun. I don't. The minute it isn't fun, heartfelt, I ask God to check my posture, remove me and sit me down. Refresh me, reinvigorate his spirit in me, the oil on me, the anointing on me. I'm not doing anything for show. Now, this is my accountability card game, Real Talk for Overcomers. And this is a Wounds to Wins card game. It goes with this. So you can go on my Instagram, Ava Cherie, or Facebook, Ava Cherie with the asterisk, and probably on my YouTube. I do a lot of commercials about how to play this. And I actually played with somebody online. They're not cheap, and they're very quality cards. All of this that I've ever done, let me say this now, I used to leave myself out. It is God, and it has been me. Nobody I know has ever published a book with words, context. Nobody I know has ever designed, edited, and self-published a deck of cards. Nobody I know personally is a publishing entity designed, prepared to be able to publish someone else's book for them or help in publishing, ghostwrite, whatever. Okay? Nobody else that I know has written their first book and did an in-studio, professionally mixed and mastered audiobook. Nobody. And I'm saying that because my previous support system used to always tell me that a lot of people thought I hired outside help. One of my acquaintances I used to have, I let her listen to my commercial and my voicemail on my business line. And she thought that I hired an actor or somebody, and that wasn't my voice. And I'm like, I do voiceover acting. I do voiceover commercial. That is what I got into as a spinoff of doing my audiobook. The guy who engineered and mixed and mastered my book suggested that I do it because of my voice and the moderations and the fluctuations. And she swore up and down I was lying to her. And so after that, I just am not her friend no more. Because I don't understand why people doubt something that they've never entertained or tried to do. And then they doubt that you're capable of doing it. And where am I getting all this budget to staff people to do every single thing I say that I'm doing? Did I get somebody to sit in for me and get my master's degree in grad school and start my PhD? No. Why can't I have passion as a speaker? She knows I'm a speaker. This lady is an intelligent lady too. And she just broke my heart because what she was speaking from was envy and jealousy. So I don't want to bore you guys. So look, I'm going to get back to my inventory. All of this, my ex can attest, was right there witnessing everything I created. My ex and my children. My support system at the time. Right there when I do everything. Everything. So, now, I'm taking all of this. I'm going to have a 6-foot table. Some opportunities you have to invest in yourself and pay to be in. And some opportunities you don't. So pray for me that I get the financial backing that I need to get to this opportunity. I'm packing, counting, and preparing as if it is already done. Yep, that's what I'm doing. These are the bookmarks that go into each one of my books. Of course, it has me on there and my information and my famous God's love to you and my website. Put this in every book. Yep, they get that. My deck of cards have cases, hard cases, soft cases. Depends on what they purchase, okay? This pouch has my baggies. Yup. So I got these cute baggies. Your purchase may look like this. You get this good. You get this good. And ooh. You got the Ava Cherie package. That Ava Cherie bundle. Okay? So I'm counting on my inventory. Oh, we ain't talking about the boxes over there. That's inventory. This is just what was in this little bitty cute travel case I told you. Right after the pandemic, I did conversations with the little voices of COVID-19. I did it for my grandchildren and my nieces and nephews, my little ones. And so I have them as authors: Tyrell Pinkins Jr., Talia Cherie, Blake Miller, and Ayana Cherie and Ayer Woods. Each one of the kids that helped contribute as a co-author, they got one of the books. So I encouraged them to become authors. I made this up. Had never done a children's book, never did a colorful book. This was very expensive to make compared to black and white text, and gray tone text. So you got to consider all those factors when you're doing things. This was way more expensive to make, believe it or not. See, it's glossy, there's pictures. So yeah, this was a big accomplishment because I never even thought about doing a children's book. And I created the cover designs for all of my books. Of course, I didn't create the cover for this because Dr. Sherwood already had that template already locked and loaded for the conference for us. That was a part of our investment. We didn't have to pay to do none of that. Editing, printing, all we had to do was submit our bio, our picture, child. And I'm in here, child. Somewhere, child. But it's a compilation of authors, and it's a really good book. So yeah, this is a proud moment. Very proud moment. Conversations with the little voices of COVID-19 pandemic. I did not upload this to Amazon because I think I'm doing print on demand because it is so expensive. So I didn't buy too many copies. I bought copies for the families. I promised the children and signed them, and they can say, this presented by me, but their co-authors are right here. They were so proud. So yeah, that was my offering to those little babies. If they wanted to buy more, I gave it at my author discounted rate. If their families wanted more. Not only do I have a lot of books to get rid of, more cards. This is a whole box of cards. Top and bottom, probably like 100 decks. Case, card, sealed, never opened. Everything costs a lot of money. So I'm gonna be transparent. I can promote, celebrate, rejoice with people. I'm dropping such and such type conversations, walkthroughs, get on any stage and speak about a lot of things. But I think I failed in ongoing marketing myself, assuming people thought I was doing all of this myself and was going to support, assuming my past networks would contribute to my new net worth or desired net worth, and not going into more social environments because I thought social media and online platforms was the way to go. So I distanced myself, right? I distanced myself from the outside because everything was go, go, go online. I failed miserably at not cross-promoting, but continuing cross-promoting. Keep pushing my products in the front. Keep pushing. That goes with anything I've done. I've always taken pride in knowing my limitations, my strengths, and my weaknesses. And as many salespeople in my family, as many salespeople I know personally that are successful, as many investments to go to the top people in the spa game, the toy industry, the trade shows, I've never grasped sales and marketing. Now, maybe I need to hire somebody to do that for me. What I'm saying is there's always an opportunity for continuum of coaching, a continuum to pass the mantle to somebody's expertise, to give the job to somebody who is an expert, who's experienced in that part. And I've learned that. So for me, getting out of my head of keeping up with the trends, doing this, doing that, streamline all your social media platforms, that was hectic because it switched over and revved up. So I'm not behind or delayed. Things could have been done different and maybe I would have been further. I've always focused on person to person and ministry, accountability. People gonna see me, they gonna trust me, they gonna know what I do, they can tell what I do, but that wasn't the case. Today's video is to show you and be transparent that I've been ahead of the game a long time, but the game can play you if you don't know how to play the game. Again, this is probably 100 or 200 decks of cards that I spent a lot of money on to make them, to have separate cases. Case is hard to print them. and have the boxes shipped. Yeah. But I know that God knows my weaknesses, and where I'm weak, He is strong. Because a lot of times I just didn't have money to hire somebody to train me. That's really what it was. It wasn't ego. It wasn't pride. Nah. You got to hire a coach. You got to hire help. On my first book, on this book, I outsourced everything. I didn't know how to do the cover, the editing. I had beta readers. I was smart enough to edit, but it's kind of hard to edit your own words, because then you're going back and you're changing your whole story, child. You see something, you be like, that ain't how that went, that ain't what I wanted to say. Then you be all day trying to release the book, and ain't nobody got time for that. And even with outsourcing, especially with Fiverr and all these, third-party apps and stuff, they may not see your vision. Even with trying to get a logo and cover art, go with yourself. Go with your face. I had a professional photo shoot. Go with yourself. I had a professional photo shoot. Yeah. It's a lot that goes into this, guys. Don't be discouraged. I'm not discouraged. What discourages me more is when I did just leave it packed up, because I did just enough on online marketing and website and my e-commerce platforms that I just assumed ding, ding, ding was going to keep going off all night after the first run that I kept selling out multiple times. So I'm thinking, after my first book went like that, I'm thinking everything that I do is going to go like that. So now make sure my e-commerce platforms are good. Make sure everything is easy for my customers to go click, click, boom. It wasn't like that, guys. And it hasn't been like that. I found out my ex has said ain't no real money in being an author after I published. And that's how he really felt. He seen how much this book made. He had to be a husband and a provider. And I'm an entrepreneur. He's an entrepreneur. Then he was working for someone. But that's how he felt, because he probably wanted to kick his feet up and relax. I didn't relax. I paid over 60-70% of the bills. Like, where were we relaxing? I wasn't just writing on a whim and he's whisking me away to the cabins and I'm just around doing the Erykah Badu with the candles. I need to be inspired. Child, I was working. I got teddy bear line. I was working. I was DJing. I was a wife. I was cooking every day. I was a grandma. Listen. I was working. It seems that God will, and we've heard it many a times, people will block your blessing, but sometimes God will seize that moment, because I knew that God didn't want takers in my midst. I knew that God was holding up my blessings because it were people that wasn't privileged and worthy to be a part of those blessings. What is this? More books. More copies of these. Oh, a lot of copies of these with Dr. Cheryl Wood and Les Brown. So I really want to get rid of these. So what I might do is give these at a very discounted rate, because one, it's not solely pushing me, but this may be like a good add-on, a freebie, almost free, type of situation. And I got them because they were hard to get at one point. I sold one box and ordered another one, and I wanted to have them on hand. People were buying them. But that also goes to, where was I selling them? Was I available? Was I marketing? And I was doing everything I thought I was supposed to do online. But I'm still learning. And I want to encourage you to don't stop, because we're going to keep learning until we leave this earth. Don't stop. I don't probably have a lot of these left, to be honest, because they sell out pretty fast. So the You Are Enough is going everywhere I go. The Price of Evolution series is going everywhere I go. The Real Talk for Overcomers card game is going everywhere I go. Selling those full price. Wounds to Wins. I check the inventory on this. I have my bookmarks. Show y'all. You get one of these with every purchase. It says A Motivational Mogul's Mindset. Of course, it's everywhere on my website, on my YouTube channel. Living through sacrifices that cultivate purpose. All right. So that goes in every book. Definitely have enough of these. I just ordered some new ones. So you see how thick they are? Ain't nothing flimsy about this. So I have that. I'm going to tell you why you want to always know how many you have. Because somebody bought out my entire inventory before. And I said to myself, being, you know, this grown age, I ain't got time to be fumbling like, let me find out how many I got on the fly. Nah, baby, we gonna know how many we got on her gonna know. So that's why I said I'm doing my inventory. I want to know exactly how many I'm bringing, how many I've sold, how many I have. Because if somebody say I want this whole stack, I got to know how much is in this stack. Now, you younger people don't think this is as serious. Get into those dilemmas and predicaments, and then you'll find yourself. Even when I own my spa, you better know how many waist trainers and exercise retention bands you got. You just sit up there talking. If you don't know, somebody be like, give me your whole inventory. Me and my family, I got a busload of athletes that want this. I got the med spa down the street want to buy all your waist trainers. You better know. Okay. That's why you want to know what you got. Bundle them up and pack them up. You know what you're doing. You know what you're saying. You know what you're delivering. All right. That's just a very good thing to do. These are all great conversation starters. It should be no problem engaging in a conversation and selling and marketing myself. And if anybody got any tips, I'll be watching and learning. I'm a student. I'm eager to know more on how I can do that. I know coming outside of my shell, what that means for me is making sure I'm good, making sure I'm straight, investing in myself, and taking things out that I've already done because I move so fast, reassessing, restructuring my thoughts on how to get this stuff out, continuing to minister, strive to be successful, and also, more importantly, being a servant leader as I do. Incorporate myself into myself now because I haven't been solo dolo in a long time. I'll come back and do one of these videos based off the demand, but I definitely wanted to just show people, like, it ain't easy. You have to be encouraged and you have to believe in yourself, and I do all of the above. Bet on yourself. This is your girl, Miss Motivational Mogul Mindset, Ava Cherie, the Inspired. God's love and God's peace to you all. Now come over here and help me put these daggone boxes up. Somebody. All right.